Teams that appear more concerned on image than answers. And that quiet is deafening. It's making matters worse. Because the persons responsible will not talk, the public begins writing its own narrative. And just now the tale is severe. The WNBA mismanaged. Caitlin Clark. The league leaned too. One rookie was subjected to harsh treatment. The players are furious and underpaid. Nobody's being held accountable. And without Clark, the league may crumble. You think that this kind of narrative does not deter admirers or networks or sponsors. It is completely does. Speaking of networks, let's talk about television deals. The entire reason the WNBA was earning primetime slots. This season, Caitlin drove those numbers. She was a Nielsen Golden ticket. However, today networks are quietly reassessing. Games are getting bumped. Ratings are decreasing. There is enthusiasm fizzling. With new media rights negotiation on the horizon, this injury could not have come at a worse moment because the networks are watching. They're thinking, if the overall business model breaks apart when one player is hurt, is it even worthwhile investing in? That's the type of thinking that leads to lowball offerings. Less airtime means less promotion, less of everything. So here's the most incriminating section. The league knows. Despite this, they have yet to make progress. Of it, where is the commissioner? Where's the huge "we stand by our players" moment? Where is the leadership? All we are getting is social media silence, vague reassurances, as if the player revolt and ratings drop are only a minor hitch in an otherwise great season. They are not. They're warning signs. And if the WNBA does not act immediately, they will lose the very people who made the season relevant. The players, veterans who have held this. They've been in a league for 2 decades and are tired. The rookies are getting wounded, overplayed, and underprotected. And the middle-tier players receive none of the fame and even less of a paycheck. Why? Will they stay? Why would they keep play in a system that treats them like throwaway marketing tools? The international leagues pay higher. They offer greater support, less confusion, and more consistency. And if a few more stars choose to transfer their talents elsewhere or sitting out completely in protest could cause a total collapse. Because this is the truth. The league is already operating on razor-thin margins. It can afford to lose its talent, credibility, and fan base at the same time. But it is exactly where we're going somewhere. Let's be clear about this. It's not solely about Caitlin Clark. She's not the villain. She did not damage the WNBA. She revealed it. Her injuries pulled. The curtain was pulled aside to show a league that was not ready. Not for the spotlight, not for scrutiny, definitely not for the responsibilities that comes with rapid expansion. They wanted viral moments. They wanted packed arenas. They wanted ESPN segments. But what they didn't construct was infrastructure. They did not invest. Player wellness. They did not prepare their coaches. They did not defend their stars. And now the bills are due. So, what happens next? Will the league double down on stillness and hope Caitlin is healing fast enough to fix everything? Or will they confront the flames and admit mess and begin rebuilding from there? Inside out? Make no mistake, if they don't respond quickly, the consequences could include permanent. And not just for Caitlin. Everyone. So, let's discuss the question looms over everything, like a bad call by the referee in overtime. Is the WNBA? Are you genuinely ready for the major leagues? Or is it only claiming to be one? Are the cameras on? Because from outside looking in, it's beginning to feel as the league sorely needed the benefits of fame. Corporate deals, sellout crowds, major headlines, but not the responsibility that entails. With being in the limelight, it's easy to create a hype machine when things are going well. However, what we are experiencing now, this is what happens when the lights stay on. Even after the main performer has left the stage, and now the WNBA can't hide behind the feel-good narratives anymore, because now we are dealing with genuine, structured issues. Let's take facilities. Oh, yes, we're going there. You'd expect a league with national exposure and billions of dollars in NBA backing would at least guarantee that its players have access to quality training institutions and recovery resources and medical staff. But no. Players are continue training for share gyms, working with limited recovery equipment, and no joke, sharing the hotel rooms for road trips.
And you want to
talk about optics? Allow me to paint you a picture. Caitlin Clark is the most touted rookie in women's basketball history. Shows up for a game where the floor is warped, the locker rooms are terrible, the lights flicker like in a horror film. This player has brought in millions of dollars in ticket revenue and television dealings, and she is playing an environment. It looks like a high school gymnasium. It makes sense. You assume this occurs in. What about the NBA? You believe Luka Doncic is flying, advertising, or binding his own ankle in a small locker room nook? One roll of tape? Absolutely not.
But in
the WNBA, players have had to beg for charter flights. Caitlin actually got. Her first one was a customized arrangement. This is not a conventional lead policy.
And now
the league is scrambling to extend others, but only because it was dragged
publicly.
Let's get real. If it had gone viral, nothing would have changed. Confirming all the players
feared.
It proves that the WNBA didn't lay a basis. It built pedestal. And when the pedestal cracked, so did the entire image.
Now,
let's shift to something the players have been shouting for years. Officiating. The manner Caitlin was permitted, being tormented on the court every night, was not only unprofessional, it was risky. We witnessed it game after
game.
Late hits, body checks, and elbows too. The ribs and the refs are simply standing. They seem to have forgotten their whistles. Home. It's not only Caitlin's thing
either.
Ask any WNBA player, and they will. Officiating in this league is inconsistent, unexpected, and often completely disrespectful, because that would be automatic fouls in the NBA. They're simply a part of the game. This is a player safety issue rather than just fairness is one. If the referees are unable or unwilling, if we safeguard the stars, what will happen? Players are injured, viewers tune out, careers are shorter, and the league begin losing trust faster than it can sell a jersey. This leads us to the coaching tragedy, which has also quietly ruining the league momentum, because let's not sugarcoat
it.
Some of the coaches in the W have been suspicious, particularly when it comes to manage inexperienced employees. Caitlin Clark was clearly overplayed. Too many minutes, too much pressure, insufficient rest or adaptation to professional physique.
And
what did it lead to? Burnout, injury, sidelining your main draw, because A, the staff did not know how to pace her.
It's
not just an Indiana fever issue.
It's
a coaching crisis has broken out across the league. You get teams are still running at the college level. Playbooks, rotations that do not make sense. There is no transparency in game decisions. Fans are not foolish.
They
attention, and it is putting casuals off.
Real time.
So the WNBA is now trapped in a perfect storm. There's no Caitlin Clark to boost ratings. Star athletes are outraged over wages, gaps, and bad care. A potential player walks out, looming in the
background.
Viewership is rapidly declining. Coaches are under heat. Officiating is that awful It's nearly a meme. And here it is. Worst part, the league doesn't appear to have a plan. There is no obvious roadmap for how to resolve these issues.
No.
Commissioner Pressers address the crisis. There are no major reform suggestions.
Just hope.
Just stalling. Just banking on. Clark returns as if it were a miracle reset button. But it isn't. Even if she returns next season, healthier, stronger, this moment will last.
Fans
will remember. The players will definitely remember.
Sponsors too.
Because the truth is, Caitlin Clark did not destroy the WNBA. She only stored it temporarily. What's destroying it now is inaction. From those in charge.
The
refusal to hear. The inability to adapt. The hope is that this whole firestorm will simply burn itself away without burning down the house.
And if
they do not take precautions, there will be there is still a house to save. Now here comes the scariest part for the league.
No one at the top wants to say out loud.
What if this marks the beginning of? Is it the end? Because let's take a beat.
Be truly honest.
Strip away the flashy headlines and buzzworthy rookie moments. What are we looking at? A league that is kept together using duct tape, Instagram engagement, and Caitlin Clark's overworked groin. Now that all three are beginning to fray, it's not looking great. It's not simply about ratings dropping or gamers complaining about salaries are no longer provided. The Women's National Basketball Association, after 28 seasons standing, a crossroads with no apparent way forward, and Caitlin's injury simply ripped away the illusion that everything is finally working. Let's talk about sponsorship, because this is not simply a basketball issue. It is a business concern.
Caitlin
Clark introduced new eyeballs, new brands, and money. Corporate partners who had not impacted the WNBA in decades abruptly. I wanted in. Companies that previously only interested in NBA stars were now. How do we get on a Caitlin train? And they did. But now she's gone. That sparkling momentum is crushing. Halt. Ad impressions are down. Social. The level of engagement has declined. The buzzwords and brand meetings are suddenly ROI and sustainability, of visibility and development. And executives, they're pulling back quietly and gently, waiting to see if the numbers will bounce back, or they simply lay a wager on a league that cannot continue without its rookie cash cow. This is how sponsorships work. They aren't concerned about feelings. They care about analytics. And currently the graphs are heading in the incorrect direction. You know what else? Heading toward the danger zone? Retail sales. The lead was riding high on Clark effect. Jerseys were sold through the roof. Not only for her, but throughout the
board.
Teams that hadn't reached 10,000 units in years were suddenly pushing 50K. Caitlin's presence increased. Everyone, including her rivals. But here's the difficulty. This spike was never supported by team loyalty or deeply rooted fandom. Clark had an eccentric personality. Once she went out, sales flattened, then dropped, then dipped again. Now fans are. I am hesitant to invest. Is she actually going to? Will you continue to play throughout the season?
Will she?
Will you still be on this squad next year?
The
uncertainty freezes wallets, which takes us to a more serious issue. The WNBA has not ensured emotional buying from its audience. They had it for a moment. Clark and Ree were going at it.
When
sold-out arenas were chanting and booing, like a playoff series, but once that momentum dipped, but the league did not have enough storytelling infrastructure to keep people engaged. There is no ESPN. A 30 for 30 tale revolves around the veterans.
No
intriguing team rivalries with actual stakes. It's all vibes, highlight clips, and you can't build one Vibes alone can generate a loyal fan base. Fans need investment.
They need context.
They need something to root for beyond the newest. The name is trendy. And without Caitlyn, the league is pushing the investment, trying to offer them a reason to
Care.
This brings us to the media problem. The WNBA's connection. The media is in tatters. Because here's the thing, you cannot be thirsty for coverage when it's convenient. Avoid accountability when the press asks hard questions. The league desired the spotlight, but the second tone moved from, "Yay, look at the growth." Why do players threaten to wait? Walkouts. They froze. Journalists are being stonewalled. The players are. They were given certain talking points. And Caitlyn, the media is essentially under lockdown.
No.
Interviews, no press conferences, simply tightly controlled sound bites created by PR.